You're good.
Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome to a Wail Guitar Jam Lesson. What are we calling this shit?
Jam Lesson.
Jam Lesson. So in this lesson, we're going to be checking out a song by this guy here, Khalid, called Saved. I heard this song on the radio the other day, and I'm always on the lookout with my students for kind of current, more modern songs that have like a definite kind of guitar sound, and you know, one that's not always kind of rock stuff, which is kind of what I gravitate to. So this one stuck out to me, and I thought it would be a really cool idea for a lesson. So if you are interested in just learning how to play the chords, in the first couple of minutes we're just going to purely look at the chords. There's 4 of them, bar chords. If that's all you're here for, we're going to dive straight into that. If you are interested in kind of developing your guitar skills and your knowledge, after that we're going to look at the scales that we can use to play over the top of this chord progression. I have like recorded a backing track of the chord progression for us to solo over. We'll check out which chord scales we can use over the top of that. And a bit further after that, we're just going to talk a little bit more about the chord progression in relation to which key we're in, and the scale tone harmony behind that. If you're not familiar what I'm talking about, there's a link below to the 80/20 guitar course, which we cover all of this stuff. So if that interests you, go for it. Anyway, going straight into it, I'm just going to play you the chords, the backing track here. It's just simply some 4 chords on guitar. Cool, that's it. It's pretty much the whole song. So 4 chords we're looking at. To start off with, we're going to be playing an E flat minor chord. So the root note for this is on the A string. So remember, if we're playing a bar chord with the root note on the A string, it's using an A-shaped chord. So in this case, an A minor. Now we're going to drag that up, so it's not going to be A anymore. It's going to be a B flat to a B to a C, D flat, D, E flat right here. We're going to bar that down. There is our E flat minor chord. That is our first chord in the chord progression. And that's kind of the strum that we're going to play in each chord, okay? We'll look at the right hand in a second. So here's the E flat minor chord. We're now going to go to a G flat major with the root note on the E string. So remember, if the root note's on the E string, we're going to be using, and it's a major chord, we need to use our E major shape. And remember, you can just simply drag that up the fret. So E major to an F major, there's our F root note there, to our G flat here. And it's a major chord, there is our E major shape there. So G flat major. Next chord, we're going to take this shape up to a B flat. So B flat is on our 6th fret. We know that because we have open E, F, G flat, G, A flat, A, B flat. Being a minor chord with the root note on the E string, we're just going to create that E minor shape with our first finger barred all the way down. There is our B flat minor chord. And the next chord we're going to go to is an A flat major chord. So if that's B flat, going down a semitone will be an A, one more would be an A flat. And it's a major chord, so we need to put that middle finger on. And there's your 4 chords. So that again is E flat minor to a G flat major, up to a B flat minor chord, back 2 frets to an A flat major. And that's it. That's your 4 chords. Let's check out the right hand really quickly. And this is the same strum on every chord. I'm going to start on the E flat minor chord. So the E flat is on the A string. So I'm just simply going to have my 1st, 2nd, and 3rd fingers on the so 2nd, 3rd, and 4th strings. And I'm going to hit my thumb on the root note, then all together. So it's thumb, fingers together. Now all that's changing now is my thumb's going to the E string because the root note of the G flat major chord is on that string. And it's the same for each chord after that. I don't know the words, but you get the idea. So that's the chord progression. Alrighty. If you want to stick around, what we're going to talk about now is which key we're in and which scales we can play over the top of that. Okay, I'm going to play the backing track here. So this is just the chord progression playing over. I'll tell you now that we are in the key of B flat minor. Okay, and I'll talk a bit about how we get to there later. Okay, so if B flat, we're going to find out B flat on our E string, E, F, G flat, G, A flat, A, B flat. And we're just simply going to use to start off with our minor pentatonic shape, position 1. So here we go. It goes. Remember, with pentatonic minor, position 1, your first finger, if you're starting on the 6th fret here on the B flat, you don't change. This stays. The first finger this is the starting spot, fret 6. So we're going to go. I'm going to talk in finger numbers. So we're going to go first finger, 4th, first finger, 3rd, first finger, 3rd, first finger, 3rd, first, 4th, first, 4th. Now I've just added a little blues note there. And here as well. Okay, what am I doing there? I'm sliding out of that position. That's because I'm playing a different scale. This is a natural minor scale. So we played B flat pentatonic minor. I'm going to now quickly show you B flat natural minor scale. Now there's a little bit more of a movement around here, a few more notes as well. Okay, so our first finger's on the 6th fret, and we're going to go first finger, 3rd, and then 4th, and then same on the next string. So we'll start with those. First finger on the next string, little finger here, because on the next string we're going to go back a fret. First finger, 2nd, 4th, come forward a fret now, 1, 2, 4, 1. That's our B flat natural minor. So remember, all of these are just shapes that you memorize, finger numbers. Now combining those two scale shapes. I'm going into pentatonic minor position 2, which sounds the same as 1. Once you know all your pentatonic shapes, there's a lot more you can they all just interlock together, right? Position 1, 2, position 3, 4, position 5, back into 1 again. So you can sort of see how all those pentatonic shapes interlock, and once you've memorized those 5 shapes, doesn't matter which key you're in, you know. So this is in the B, starting on the 6th fret here, will give us all of those 5 shapes in the key of B flat, and so on. So a lot more information about that in the course if you're interested. What we're going to do right now is talk about how to work a song like this out by ear, rather than having to rely on you know, looking at maybe some dodgy tabs on the internet, or you want to try to start developing your skills so you don't need to do that. And you can do that by by ear. Okay, so the way that we do that is I would suggest starting out by just working out the root movement. So that means finding the bass note of each chord, okay? So you know, you've already played the chords by now, so you know where the root notes are, okay? But if you were to find it, work it out by ear, I would probably suggest by trying to work out the key. So there's a note in this, and all of these, out of all these chords, that will just stick out. That one there sounds pretty good. We know it's a B flat because we've already done the scale, but you know what I mean. Like that note just works with every chord sort of thing, okay? So that's our key. Now really quickly, if we're in the key of B flat minor, I think it's really, well, really, I would say probably essential to know your relative majors and relative minors. So B flat minor is the relative minor to D flat major. Okay, so then I would suggest you would, okay, so what's all of our chords in the key of D flat major? If you remember your scale tone harmony, the 1 chord is always a major, the 2 chord is a minor, 3 chord is a minor, 4 chord is a major, 5 chord is a major, 6 chord is a minor, 7 chord is diminished, and then the 8th chord is a major, same as the 1, okay? So in the key of, we're going to keep it in the key of D flat major. Excuse me, the first chord we're playing is an E flat minor. So if you also remember, this is a lot to take on, but if you also remember your scale, your major scale formula, you should be able to work out all of the notes in D flat major, okay? So we're relating it back to that. So the E flat minor chord is the 2 minor chord in the key of D flat major. Okay, now the next chord we're going to is a G flat major, D, E, F, G. So that's the 4 chord, our major 4 chord. The next chord is the B flat minor, which is our relative minor, our key. That is our minor 6 chord in the key of D flat major, and then we have our A flat major, which is our 5 chord in the key of D flat. So this chord progression is simply a minor 2, 4, 6, 5. Okay, and then that chord progression just keeps repeating throughout the song. I hope you found that informative. A lot of information. Please let us know if there's anything that you would like, any more information that you'd like to know that's in relation to this. In the meantime, just keep practicing those scales. Try to memorize all of your pentatonics, or even all of your natural minor scales. And happy jamming, and we'll catch you in the next video. Hope you've enjoyed it.